So in today's Kirk Miller podcast episode, I'm going to talk about February's biggest trap and how to avoid it. Because the danger in February is you burn out if you've gone off like an absolute greyhound with your health and fitness and your habits towards your health and fitness. Or you're struggling to, or fearful, better said, of losing momentum in February. If you haven't folded already, the danger of folding with your health and fitness is certainly on the cards for many in February. And I think one of the best things you can do in February to maintain that consistency, if you built it in January, or really get that consistency back if you've lost it in January, is to focus on doing things or setting targets week to week rather than the month of February itself. Now, inside Built to Last, we do set 30-day targets every single month for our clients. But I think when the day-to-day reality of people's schedules really kick in, and for me, that's February onwards, having a clear expectation and what you're going to do towards that expectation week to week is a great way to keep momentum and certainly avoid things like all or nothing mentality and really handle the potential curveballs and habitual challenges and emotional patterns that you may have in February. This is a great month to raise the bar again from your standards in January, and for me, it's the first real month to create momentum with your shape towards your ideal summer body. And of course, crank the game up with your own energy management that are only going to benefit your professional endeavors and performance in business, etc. So I've got 3 actionable tips, and this will build on from last week's podcast if you listened to it. But even if you didn't, this is going to help you either way. So the first actionable tip that I recommend you do in February is celebrating 3 weekly wins. I think as a high performer, it's very easy to stop to reflect on your wins. Why is this important? It will help you condition the things that you're doing well. It'll attach pleasure in the process. So you can naturally fall in love with the week-to-week boredom, which is required to build consistency. So you don't solely focus on outcome-based goals. As you're listening to someone who has been in shape now for decades, don't want a medal for that. I'm a coach, it's a minimum requirement, but I know what I'm talking about. And the reason I've stayed in shape for this long and help many clients do the same is it's because I've got total control over the process of how I manage with me on a week-to-week basis, and I want to help you do the same. And if you can just reflect on 3 wins from last week as you listen to this podcast, and at the end of each week during the month of February, and do that through journaling, I recommend, or at least mentally checking in with yourself for 5 to 10 minutes or less on a week-to-week basis, then you're going to be evaluating what you're doing well, and then it's easier to repeat the things you're doing well. It's hard to repeat the things you're doing well if you're not evaluating the things that you're doing well. And that could be to do with food, training, movement, mindset, the way you're planning, the way you're handling social occasions, the way you are reacting with your emotional state if things don't quite go to plan, or you have to have awkward conversations, or there's some work stress. But reflect on 3 weekly wins every week. Then ask yourself, how can I easily repeat these wins next week? Or raise the bar so I improve on these 3 weekly wins or make them better. The next one, and this is more outcome based, I suppose, is have one clear outcome based goal at the end of each week for the next week. And I urge you to try and make your February outcome based goal more process based driven, because like many people in February, You may have seen some physical progress, but you're still nowhere near where you want to be. It can be a little bit demoralizing when you are a month into a journey or a month into your New Year goals and you're still in your head a million miles away from that ideal shape, that level of fitness you want, maybe the mobility you want. So rather than get despondent with that, if you can create more agency on the process, as I've just said, then you're going to create more predictability towards the outcomes that you're working towards. But a great process-based goal would be something like, I'll use a common one with our clients, is track your food every single day. Whether that's through MyFitnessPal, whether it's taking pictures of your food, whether it's writing it in your notes. I think it's one of the clearest things that you can tick off at the end of the week during the month of February is evaluating your food every single day. And then at the end of the week, ticking off, journaling, whatever you want to do, that you've actually done that. I guarantee if you did something like that every single day and then had that as a measurable goal at the end of each week, you would 100% manage your calories and the quality of your calories more efficiently because you're evaluating everything you're putting in your mouth every week during the month of February. By default, I guarantee you'll be leaner, fitter, you perform better because you're eating more real food and managing your calories better. It could be something else, but have a clear 7-day goal, and I recommend it be a clear process-based 7-day goal that you can measure. The last point, and I think this is absolutely crucial if you don't want to fall off in the month of February and you want to safeguard burnout, is accountability. Sharing your goals, sharing your wins, sharing the things you say you're committed to when it comes to your health and fitness or your overall well-being management is absolutely crucial. It doesn't matter how much of a high performer you are, without accountability, after a month into the new year, naturally your standards will want to drop. So one of the guaranteed ways you can prevent that from happening is having someone or a group of people you can be accountable to. Who in your life right now are you accountable to help measure and manage you? If you listen to this podcast and you're in peak shape and you've got total control of your agency on your habits and you're in peak shape, hats off to you. You may not need it. But if there's a gap in where you want to be, how you want to look, and how you want to feel about how you look, then what difference would genuine accountability make on your journey? If you had accountability, do you think you'd implement better habits and stay more consistent? Or more specifically, how would accountability help you right now? Who is the one person or who is the one group of people that you can take an immediate action step with right now and set something up to keep yourself accountable? Accountability creates predictability. It creates discipline. You can't go hiding. So many people hide from managing them. They don't take the pictures. They don't do the weigh-ins. They don't evaluate the inputs they're doing or not doing on a week-to-week basis for themselves. They'll do it in business, but they don't do it with themselves. If this is you, what you're willing to do about it. And if you don't have accountability and you're currently not happy with your habits, they're only going to get worse. And what impact would that make in the month of February? So just to recap, right, to avoid going to shit in February, focus on reflecting on 3 weekly wins every single week and then repeat them or better them the following week. Have a clear 7-day goal. And I advise having a clear 7-day process-based goal. It'll make you feel good. It'll make you feel consistent. Then lastly, have someone you can be ruthlessly accountable with every single week, and watch how much faster you progress and how much better you feel. And if you need help with any of that, when myself, the team are built to last, we're a team of professionals, we know what we're talking about. And if you want to build ruthless consistency, you know where we are. See you next time.